Let me split into two parts. In the U.S., because there are so many U.S. members, in the last month alone, I was in New York before I went from New York to Munich and now to Amsterdam. When I was in New York, I met with my colleague in New York who said that we had a case we were getting involved in that involved a television show called The Voice that originated in the Netherlands. And we have a litigation pending in state court in California, but there's an ancillary proceeding that needs to be handled in the Netherlands. And he said, we need a Netherlands lawyer. Do you know anyone? I said, well, of course, I'm on my way to Amsterdam for the annual conference. Immediately called up John Wolfs, who I know from prior meetings and having stayed friendly with him. So John was retained to represent us in the Netherlands. 2 days ago, I got a call from a client who needed help in New York on a real estate matter. I put him in touch with Richard Sussman, who was not at the meeting this year. Richard said, I'm happy to speak to him. Richard is the best person for that particular problem. About a month ago, for an Austrian publicly owned company that we represent, we had a dispute with a distributor in Georgia. I needed to set things up before I left for this trip in case there was going to be litigation. It would have been in Atlanta, Georgia. I got in touch with Michael Rosenblatt, who I also know from prior meetings, who does this work. He and his partner were very responsive. I left things in their hands with one of my partners back in San Diego. In case something happened, this is what they were going to do. That's just really in the last several weeks. My first go-to database when someone says, do you know anybody who can handle this or that, is to typically look at the IR list. And of the IR list, my first call is placed to a member that I know. Someone was in our office about a month ago. They needed something done in California, but they needed a proceeding brought in Venezuela. Somebody had died, but they died, excuse me, in Venezuela. Now, I don't know any of the members from Venezuela. I've never met any Venezuelan members, but I gave him the names of the four member firms. I said, contact these firms, these people, and tell them I referred you. I'm from IR Global, and they'll be able to help you. So it comes up quite a bit on the outbound basis. We have received referrals from as far away as Kuwait. The Taher law firm is a member, I think, of IR. Mr. Taher is a Kuwaiti lawyer, but he went to law school in the U.S. in Georgetown, speaks absolutely perfect, fluent English. His firm referred a client to us that needed two different litigations brought in California. We're just finishing those up. We've received work assignments from the Czech Republic, from Sarka and Ailes and their firm. We've done that work. We've referred matters to them in turn. When someone asked us for, out of the blue, someone said, do you know a lawyer in the Czech Republic? I said, I know terrific lawyers in the Czech Republic. And we refer matters out. I've spoken to Nick Chen in China about some matters. It comes up fairly often. We have an eclectic client mix. And because we also practice in New York, we deal with a lot of very international companies and people, and anytime something comes up, the first thing I'll do is, do I know an IR member? If not, let me go to the list and find out who the IR member is of that jurisdiction.